See, here's the stuff I'm going to use for the floor. And 35 inches, 3 feet wide about, and 100 feet long. And see, it's called X-board, paint and remodeling, spill block, breathable, easy to work, lays flat. And it's kind of thick stuff. It's way thicker than craft paper. If I was just painting in here or something, I wouldn't really use this stuff. I'd use craft paper and put that down on the floor, or plastic. You can put your thin plastic down on the floor. The good thing about craft paper that I like though is if you spill any paint, you can see it, and then you don't walk on it and step on it. With plastic, you can't really do that. Whatever you see, wherever you walk, you're walking on paint. You could be traipsing all over the place on your shoes and stuff. That way, that's the reason if you're gonna paint this ceiling or do something like that, or popcorn ceiling removal, I would use that little thin plastic. And if you are gonna paint in here, you would have to put that plastic down to this entire floor, let's say, and then you need to make sure to mask it down and make sure it doesn't move around, okay? So I'm gonna end up using this stuff, and I'm gonna use it down the hall, like I said, too, so that when the guys come in here to install the counters, they don't drop something on here, spill something on it, get some caulking on it, some silicone stuff on it from when they install the sink, when they're leaning down under here trying to get everything. They don't mark up our brand new floor and stuff like that. With craft paper or plastic, that's just not going to happen. See? But if you use something like this stuff right here, that's going to work good. And I'm going to just do some measuring. And I'm probably going to end up cutting it and all that out in the garage, and then bring it in here piece by piece. Last thing I want to do is set this down and lift it up and accidentally cut it with a sheetrock knife and scrape the floor or anything like that. I'll cut it in pieces, put it back in here, and then fit it side by side, tape over the top and stuff like that. In this whole area here, when I put the pieces down, I may not even put any masking tape around the edges or something. All I have to do is basically get the seams tight or close to tight, put this fairly tight like that, and then put some masking tape on there. It's not going to go anywhere, right? Okay, so I'm going to use that, and I'll do some measuring and do some cutting here in a minute and get all that stuff put down on the floor. Oh, that's funny. I was planning on cutting this out in the garage, but the first piece I needed was like 30 feet long, so I had to unroll it in here. And then I measured, marked it, and cut it. And I actually cut it with my tin snips. I didn't cut it with my sheetrock knife. And I've got some other little cutters. I'm gonna try cutting it a different way this time. And I'm just gonna take my chalk line, because I'm here by myself. I'm going to hold that on there and mark it. Hey, if you got a wood subfloor, then you can score it with your sheetrock knife or something. And I'm just using these sheet metal cutters. Thought I'd try this to see how well it works. I don't need a whole lot of pieces. You know, if I was doing this all day long and I needed to cut 3 or 4 rolls of this stuff, then yeah, I would put it on a 2x4 and score it. You know, stick a 2x4 underneath it or a 2x6 and score it with my sheetrock knife and cut it that way. And I thought I would do it backwards, because when you roll it out this other way, it has a tendency to flop up on you. But you know, you can do it that way too. But before you put it down, you know, if you cut it flip the other way, before you put it down, you want to just flip it upside down. That way it has a natural tendency to roll out, you know, against the floor like that. See, and then I can line it up about where I want it, leave a little gap or whatever, figure out where I want it. I think I want to slide it over because I'm trying to get it in different pieces here, and I don't have to have it lined up perfect or anything. You know, as long as I get it halfway decent. And now I'll just unroll this some more and cut it again. And to get my square, as I roll it out, as long as the roll is straight, lined up straight, then I can mark it. I can eyeball mark it, and that's as straight as square as I need it when I cut it off, rather than eyeballing it across there and you get it all crooked and then it doesn't line up and stuff. I'm just trying to give you a couple pointers on how I'm doing it. Hey, you can do it whichever way you want. Well, you see there, that's what your project's going to look like. And I put a double layer right here because they're going to be underneath the sink. When they install the counter, they have to install the sink from underneath the brackets and stuff, and the guy's going to be here doing all that. And I don't want him ripping through that, so I just put a double layer right there. Ran it all the way down here, and this first one, this wall was at an angle, so I thought, okay, what do? Do I put it over here, or do I cut the angle over here? I just pushed it over that way and folded it over, and then cut it with my little sheet metal snips. Put that there. Now this is all, see how nice and protected this is now? And I slid the refrigerator over there before I taped the first couple down. I was gonna put all this down to here and then roll it out on top of that, but I was afraid that if I swivel that around, it might rip this stuff. But it's pretty stout. I don't think it would have, but I wasn't gonna take any chances. This stuff is actually pretty thick, you know, and it probably would have worked. It probably would have worked. And I was thinking about putting some more of this there. I could unplug this, roll this over to here, put a couple more pieces on there, and I wasn't quite sure if I had enough. Out of that 100-foot roll, this is what I got left. Right here, hardly anything, and I don't think I'm ever going to use this again. So I guess I could cut 2 strips, you know, maybe 4 foot long, 2 pieces, and then put it in here. But, you know, I don't really think it's going to exactly protect this floor. This thing has wheels on it, and it wheels across the floor nice and easy. If it had feet on there, and if I had to drag it over here, man, I wouldn't have wanted to do that over on top of this floor. Then I would have had to have gotten some of those mover round discs and put them underneath each area and then slid it across the floor. And they have those with carpet on there, and with little carpet pads that you put under, and then you put that under because you wouldn't want the hard plastic disc sliding on there, because then you could mark up the floor. And then when you push things on carpet, you take the little carpet cap off, and then it's just got the hard plastic, and you can zip furniture all around on top of carpet with those things. Okay, I don't have them out here. I don't know where those are. I think they're upstairs. But I don't need them for that. But I specifically got them for later on down the road. After they get the counters in, then when the stove gets here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this stuff down, but I'm going to fold this little section back just to the toe kick, just beyond the toe kick this way. Cut that across there, you know, and then I'll slide it in there. And have this cardboard stuff down first. That way the feet on the stove don't dig in or scratch up my nice new floor. I was thinking that if I didn't have this down, and if the oven came, I would put those round discs underneath it on all 4 feet. Carry the stove in on the floor, and then put those on there, and then put the carpet pads on there, slide it over into place, slide it up to here, take those 2 off, and then jump out of the hole, boom, boom, and then slide it in with the 2 carpeted feet on here, slip it in there almost all the way, and then lift up the front and then pull those off. And that wouldn't have hurt the floor either. Okay, I may still do that on top of this. I don't know. We'll see. Because that stove is going to be heavy when it comes in. And then I may just, who knows, I may just leave this down before I slide the refrigerator back. And I think I can swivel it. And I think I can swivel it okay on here. What I'd like to do is try to swivel and make a big sweep on there so I don't gouge in or mark the floor. And after I swiveled it out of here, push it over there. I looked at the floor looked pretty good. It looked fine. But because I have this down now, I might as well not take any chances, right? I'll take that, slide it over here, put 2 more pieces there, slide it back. Then when I get ready to move it back over here, I'll leave all of this cardboard down, and I'll take the last little bit out from underneath where the refrigerator goes and slip it in there. Or, you know what? I could just leave this cardboard down too, if I wanted to, until the new refrigerator got here. I don't know. So, I mean, there's options that you have when you use this stuff, okay? And it's actually really, really cool stuff. You know, next time you're at the Home Depot or I don't know if they have it at Lowe's. I'm sure they have something similar to this product. It's about $35, and it's about, it's 100 feet. And you can use it for remodeling. See, it shows it paint plus remodel. If you spill something on there, it's supposed to protect it and all that kind of stuff. Think about it next time you're ready to do a project.